Hello. A new week draws to a close. I've been sick this entire week, that's why I haven't been releasing any new videos. I had a few planned, of course, but I'll save them for next week. But let's take a look at the games that released this week, all the new games that were announced, and let's end by taking a look at next week. Let's get started. This week was weak. Not too many interesting titles releasing, a few took themselves to the top. Killhouse Games released a sequel to the first game, Door Kickers. The sequel is named Door Kickers 2 Task Force North. It's been in early access since 2020 and had its 1.0 release on the 10th with 8,300 reviews and 95% of them are positive. A very solid rating. And this is a tactical military game played from a top-down perspective. It can be played with friends as well, where you plan out the mission and then go and execute it basically. I think you have a ton of tactical options in this one. Looks pretty cool actually. Mind Over Magic also exited early access this week. It's been in early access since late 2023 and it released into 1.0 on the 12th. Here you build and optimize a magic school and explore a mysterious labyrinth underneath. With 2,400 reviews, 88% are positive, and the game is 25% off until the 19th if you want to pick it up. Legacy, Steel and Sorcery also released into early access on the 12th. I took a quick look at the game the day after it was released and it sat at overwhelmingly negative. It has recovered and now sits at mostly positive with 823 reviews, so that's really good to see. This is a new PvPvE type game with a fantasy aesthetic to it, and it will spend about a year in early access. But yeah, nice that they're off to a good start. A bit over 2,000 active players in the game right now. Urban Myth Dissolution Center has also been received well by the players, with 384 reviews and 90% are positive. A single-player game about solving various cases involving cursed relics, dimensional anomalies, otherworldly planes. An odd game, but it looks solid. It's still 10% off until the 26th if you want to pick it up. To me, these were the most interesting games released this week. Let's move on to announcements. The reveal trailer for Deadly Quiet was released this week, a 4-player co-op horror game played from a body cam perspective. The game seems to put a big emphasis on teamwork and strategy as you avoid the different horrors from the forest you're in. I really like the perspective and idea, could be really cool this one. And like the name, Deadly Quiet, it's probably important to stay quiet in this one. A new trailer for Abbey was released, also announcing the release into early access. This game is about building and expanding your monastery, and of course start up a brewery within the monastery as well. It takes place during the medieval era, and you'll have to manage daily operations, manage resources, and master all the different aspects of brewery. Looks really cute. Release into early access will be on the 18th of February, so really soon. An announcement trailer for He Is Coming released. The graphics are a real throwback to the early eras of gaming. I do like the simplicity here. This is a roguelite auto-battler where you explore the map looking for powerful artifacts, and every third day a new minion of the Demon King will begin its hunt. Release will be sometime this year. A gameplay trailer for City Tales Medieval Era was released, a city building game that will drop into early access sometime this year. The game lets you build quite freely, but you also have to manage resources, plan districts, listen to your citizens' needs, and build large cities. Love the vibrant style of the game, and kind of how free it seems it lets you build everything and set up everything in the game. Release will be sometime this year. CleanFall also released a gameplay trailer. I played this one like a year back or so. A really cool and creepy game. What didn't exist back then is crafting from what I remember, and now you can build these mobile death machines. And this game is like an open world survival roguelite with some tower defense aspects. And as you go deeper and deeper, it just gets creepier and creepier. Release will be Q2 this year, so hopefully not too far off. Release date trailer for Centum was released, a puzzle RPG where the story takes the center stage with a dynamic dialogue system that can alter the course of the game depending on what you do. I'm very intrigued by this one. It has a very creepy, dark fantasy vibe to it, and I wonder how much the game can actually change, but looks cool. Release is planned for 11th of March. Then we also have 3 demo trailers. Dunebound is the first one. This is a turn-based roguelite with RPG elements. You are searching for a new home across an unforgiving desert. This is kind of the exploration part of the game. Then there is also a turn-based fighting aspect to the game. It looks interesting, no release date for this one yet, but with a demo you can at least try it out. Then we also have Passant, a chess roguelike. Feels like chess has become more and more popular, I would say in the last 5 years or so. And a chess roguelike is kind of an interesting idea, where modifiers to pieces and rules will change how the game plays. I'm not the biggest chess enjoyer, but it's an interesting idea. And if you're interested, the demo is available. Then we also have DuneCrawl with a demo as well. This one can be played solo or with friends, I think 1 to 4. And you basically have these giant walkers that you can explore with, find treasures. There is a main story, but you also have NPCs with quests. I do love this art style with the isometric view. I think the gameplay looks fun, but I think you definitely want a few friends on this one. I don't think there is any PvP in the game, but you can definitely fight with your big mechs against other big mechs. And let's also take a look at next week. Peripeteia looks quite interesting. So kind of psychological, dystopian first-person shooter. Looks very chaotic, but also kind of cool. This one will enter early access on the 23rd of February and will stay in early access until next year, early next year. It's completely a single-player game, but could be worth keeping an eye on if you like these types of games. Die in the Dungeon will also be released on the 21st. This one I'm very excited for. A dice roguelite through a dungeon with cute graphics, like what more can you ask for? This one is also entering early access and will stay there for about a year. But yeah, a very charming and cute little game that I will probably do a video on when it releases. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, Abbey will be released next week on the 18th. It's also entering early access. Holy shit, every game is entering early access these days. It will stay there for 4 to 10 months. I wonder what will be the challenge in this game, if it is just managing all the resources and the selling of the ale, the wine and whatever you can make, or if there are other factors as well to take into account. But we'll see. Looks cool at least. A new base building automation game, Microtopia, is releasing as well next week on the 18th. This one looks kind of cool. It looks like you're building these colonies with a ton of different insects, but in reality they're just small robots that looks like insects. Kind of interesting concept. A very neat idea for an automation game. I wonder if they bring anything new to the table or if it's just more of the same, but at least look intriguing. Looking forward to see the reviews next week. I think those were the most interesting games releasing next week that were a bit smaller. Like you have a Void next week, like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is also releasing, Lost Record, Bloom and Rage. Those 3 will probably top next week. But yeah, at least a few others to keep an eye on. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully next week we'll have a few more videos up on the channel. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!